Hello, landmines and jellyfish. Welcome back to Knives, I guess, and prepare yourself for the subjugation. But on last night's live stream, you guys got to pick out the next knife I carry, and you guys picked out, gimme, the Kizer Nice Guy. So it was between this and the Sin-Cut Slashkin. Y'all picked out the Nice Guy. If you want to help make decisions like that, drop by the live streams and hang out with us. They're a lot of fun. We get to hang out, shoot the breeze, tear up a knife's edge, and I get to hang out with you guys. It's a win, and also a win. But let's take a look at what we're holding, and first things first and most importantly, the pocket clip is tip up, which is the Lord's carry. We have got aluminum scales with a black coating on them, and we got a flipper tab, so let's flick the bean. We have got a 2.84 inch Nitro V blade. 3 inches was a bit too much, but that's still perfectly average. And so the aluminum version with the black coating is $59. The G10 and micarta versions are $49, and it's $59 for the black G10 with carbon fiber. So I got this at Blade Show while I was at the Kizer booth. They showed me the Amicus, and I saw that and tried to buy it, and they said it is an online-only deal because the price is so good. So I'm looking around, and this was the next best thing, and I got it for, I think, $40 or $45. It was a nice discount on it for buying it at Blade Show, and I got this because I couldn't get the Amicus, and this thing felt really, really good. So we got the liner lock, and, it already feels really, really good to flip it open, flip it closed, fidget with it. I like the aluminum and the black coating. Like, there's a lot to like about this thing. There really is. I didn't realize I was getting the Fancy Pants Rich McGee version, but, I wound up with the nicest version in my opinion. I really like the black aluminum. You don't have stuff like this show up that often on knives that are this well priced. The blade stock is quite thin for this, so it should be really, really slicey. Let's take a look at a piece of paper and see how the edge do. Come on, do my bidding. Do my bidding. There she blows. Alright, so it looks like the factory edge is okay, but not the best. This definitely not the best factory edge by a good bit. Speaking of which, air conditioning watch 2024. The air conditioning is fixed. Thank God for large papers, the AC is fixed. So that paper does not have a ton of moisture in it. This factory edge is just okay. It's not great. I foresee it's going to struggle with the plastic saran wrap on pallets. And I will not mention that on these things, because when you cut through that stuff through the middle layers, a decent edge will blast through it. That single layer on the bottom of the pallet, that single layer of wrap when you start up, if you have edge problems, it will show them. It will make them very, very obvious. A good edge will blast through it like you're cutting water, and an edge with problems will pull on it and tear on it instead of cutting it. So I foresee it's going to tear and cut on that. However, on cardboard, it should do just fine. I don't want to have to sharpen it before the live stream starts, but I may end up doing that just to give it a fighting chance of holding on for as long as possible. I'll decide when I get there. We have had factory edges that are duller than this startup and still run like forever and a half. That being said, the edge on the Sheepdog XL was a little bit better than this when we started off. That thing went for 8 solid hours before it wore out. So we're going to take a look at that. And the edge might have been dulled out a little bit just because, no, this wasn't a display piece. They pulled this one out from under the counter. So it is a factory edge. It wasn't dulled out because it's a display piece. So that is an interesting find that I didn't expect. Y'all saw the drop bear out of the box, and that thing cut like a bucket of hot damn. This one, yikes. Factory edge is like a 6 out of 10. We're going to find out how that do. Now, for carrying this thing, I expect it to carry very well. It's going to be a shame to have to carry this in the pocket. You guys have seen the last couple of knives, like those keys that I carry, leave brass residue in all the spots that they contacted. And I got a feeling this black coating is going to get chipped up all to hell and back, and there's going to be brass embedded in this that's not going to clean out. It's just not. This coating is a matte finish. It feels a bit more grippy than a gloss, like significantly more grippy. So whenever this thing takes some damage and takes that brass, I don't think it's going to let it go at all. Now, that being said, this looks to me kind of like the Boker Kalashnikov. Like, the more wear and tear you put on those things, the cooler they look, in my opinion. Those battle scars give them some personality. I've got a feeling this thing with the aluminum under it, it's definitely going to give it some of that battle-worn look, and I think that's going to be pretty cool on this one. So, you know, while it's going to be a shame to scratch up a new knife, and I'm going to get that first scratch out of the way, like, immediately, and I'm going to have my heart drop, and then the second and third and fourth and fifth scratches just aren't going to matter. You know, I've been a bit of a pansy about keeping my knives pristine while I carry them, and I am working on stopping that just because I need to let that go and actually put these things through it. So that's going to be interesting to see happen. You know, I'm interested at the end of the week to see just how beat down this thing is going to be. I'm saying it right now. That way I know to, you know, keep an eye on that and show y'all what happens and mention that whenever I do the week of carry review on it. But outside of that factory edge, I've got a really, really good impression of this thing. You know, and the factory edge isn't the end of the world. A lot of you watching this have sharpening equipment, or you know someone that does, so it can be sharpened up to the angle you want, how sharp you want it. Like, the factory edges aren't the end of the world, but they do ding the knife. You know, out of the box, they should be really sharp. There should be a nice, keen factory edge on it. And, you know, it's not here on this one. And it could also be that this was sharpened to a working edge. You know, you won't notice this edge deteriorate nearly as fast as you would the kind of edge that I put on them, highly mirrored out, super fine. Like, the super fine edges I like aren't meant for hard use, and, you know, I do know some knives come just sharpened up for hard use, and that's it. That could be the case with this one. You know, the Nitro V is supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be comparable to the 154 CM that they've been doing, and their 154 CM is fantastic. So I'm looking forward to seeing what Cardboard Slayer do. I really am. That is going to be the dedicated live stream at the end of the week of carry. You know, I'll look at my schedule at work and get that set up. But, you know, this is my initial first impression of this thing. Overall, I like what I'm seeing and what I'm going to carry, aside from the edge. And again, that could just be it was sharpened with the intent of being beaten on, not doing super fine cuts. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask Kizer about it themselves. I'm going to tag Kizer in it. They may fill me in on it and let me know what this is supposed to be like. But, you know, maybe they'll respond. I know I mentioned doing this to it, and they wanted to be tagged in this stuff to see, you know, the results on it, because I don't think anybody else is doing what I do with Cardboard Slayer to the extent that I go with it. So I'd love to see their response on all this. But, yeah, that's my first impression of it. So all that being said, thanks for looking at my crap. Subscribers, you guys are awesome. I appreciate your time so much. I appreciate the fact that y'all get something out of these videos. And again, if you haven't checked out a live stream, drop by and check it out. We have a lot of fun with those things. The comments are always pretty alive, and you know, it's just a lot of fun. And you guys are gonna get to see how the Nitro V holds up in real time. But comments, I love some feedback. If you've got one of these, let me know how your factory edge was, or what you think about what you're seeing right here. And all that being said, y'all have a nice day.